Hey guys, Hidrugon here, back with another video. Now today I want to be talking about Greed Island, the game that changed everything. The arc that established what Hunter x Hunter is in essence. So, Hunter x Hunter is a series primarily about evolution. It's a series that, arc by arc, story thread by story thread, improves and changes. Now Greed Island showed us that Nen isn't the end. For a while, from, of course, Heaven's Arena up to Yorknew, Nen had really been the center point of the series, and Togashi flipped the switch on us. He said, we've got video game rules now, book. And he's doing that now with the Nen Beasts in the Succession contest. So it's our first reminder that really, this series will never be stagnant, because it's constantly moving. Another thing it shows us is that Togashi makes world settings that exist independently of the story. And Greed Island is the best case scenario for this, because the game has always existed. We see all these people living their lives in the game, and we realize, with or without our main characters, there would still be this ecosystem of the game, and there would still be all these plot developments happening. And this is the most inclusive decision that Togashi's made, and the fact that it means that our main characters have no purpose. They've got no bearing or meaning on the story. And that's something we still haven't seen up to this date. Because in Greed Island, really, it's an arc about the game, not the characters. We're learning about Greed Island, and it just so happens that the main cast are on Greed Island. Another thing it does well is that it establishes a lot of tropes. It shows us that in Hunter x Hunter, the shonen deconstruction is fully at play. There's many times it does this. When Killua gets back his revenge in a way to pass the Hunter exam, it doesn't even show it to us. Visky, the trainer character, doesn't even get shown to us in that context. She's just another rival. She's someone that works with the main cast. At the moment, she's Kurapika's ally. So that's clearly broken lots of these stereotypes and rules in these sort of stories. Another thing we have is we've got the peak, the ascension of Gon and Killua's relationship and their toxicity. Now, what do I mean by that? Their relationship in Greed Island is the closest it ever was. But the problem is, Killua started getting comfortable with Gon's bad habits. Now, Gon consistently puts the mission above the person. What do I mean by this? What I mean by this is, in this arc, Killua really establishes himself as a support character and submissive to Gon's will. So in this arc, Gon makes a lot of choices which end up harming Killua, and Killua is willing to accept it because of this inherent belief that Gon wants what's best for him. And really, through this arc, we learn that Gon just doesn't. Gon is simple-minded and he's objective-focused, and he's willing to sacrifice everything to get to his goals, even if that means his friends. Now, to the focal point of why Greed Island changed everything. Greed Island showed us that the main cast are unnecessary. Really, Hunter x Hunter is a story that can go on and can excel without any characters. You can just bring us a new character, and then that's a new main character. It showed us this because in Hunter x Hunter, each arc we've had, the main cast is swapping around and adjusting. But in this arc, it was the only arc in the series where really the main cast wasn't the main focal points. The main focal point was about the bomber and about collecting all the cards. And really the main cast were there in the background. And that sets an interesting precedent. Because once we get to the Dark Continent, will we even be seeing the characters we care about? It really makes you think. And that's what I love about this arc, is it's really a revolutionist. It's an arc that stands on its own apart from all the others in the series. Every single arc in Hunter x Hunter, except from, of course, the Hunter exam, if you made a new person watch that arc independently of each other arc, it is the only arc they will fully understand and fully feel like they're engaged with the story. And that's because Greed Island is the most unique, the most separated, and the most creatively interesting arc in the series. Greed Island, we even saw the change of the art style that symbolizes this change in story, this change in aesthetic, this change in storytelling. And I think the fact that it's all, focused around Jing's imagination, Jing's creation, shows us a lot about who his character is and what he means for the story. Jing deconstructs what we think of as conventional storytelling. And the more I think that Jing gets involved in the story, the more I think that Greed Island will repeat itself, and that we'll find ourselves in situations that really we don't understand how we got there, why we're there, and things are happening independently of the characters we know about. So I love Greed Island. I think it's one of the most underrepresented arcs in the series. I thought the dodgeball game was incredible. I thought that really showed us the pinnacle of what Hunter x Hunter could be. That dodgeball game showed us so much characterization for our characters. Each of the characters acted the way you'd think they'd act. And that might seem like, duh, of course, but really, what's so interesting about it is those characters are just there because of their reactions. They're not there because they're the cast. They're there to paint the story on the dodgeball, not the characters. This is a story about how the dodgeball is significant to these characters, not how these characters impact the dodgeball. So it's a bit of a role reversal, and I think it's done very well. And I love Greed Island. I think that Genfru is a villain that doesn't get the respect, the credit, the recognition he deserves. I think that he's someone that's really more representative of us humans, right? Genfru is someone that's clearly feel disenfranchised with the outside world and society. And he's gotten this little band of friends together, and they've gone to terrorize people for individual gain. And I think the great thing about it is this moment of regret, this moment of feeling overwhelmed, this coldness he feels when Gon's charging up his Jajan Ken. He just realizes that the world's too big, it's too cruel, it's too scary. And we've got multiple moments of that. We've got Teixeira, who's having that exact same moment when he realizes these kids are a different level. Am I really like how I thought I was in then? And I think overall this arc subverts expectations. It creates unhinged moments. It does that all with the subtext of being this friendly game where it's all adventure and friendly focused. I think it's amazing. I think it's an incredible role reversal on our minds, because our minds are constantly tricked into thinking the stakes aren't as great as they are. So we got all these moments where it's fine, Gon's fighting Genfru, his arm's gone. Oh, it's fine, dodgeball. Oh, Killua's hands are gone. You know, there's also those moments that I think have the great shock, because we have an expectation in our heads that is completely deluded, and it's deluded on purpose. It's actively getting deluded. We are currently experiencing manipulation through the writing style. This appearance, sudden change, feels too abrasive, so we just go, it's the game. No, it's a change in tone, it's a change in the character writing, and it's a change in the direction of the series. And I think the Hunter x Hunter universe has really benefited from it. People talk a lot about York New being the point that the series goes dark. And whilst yes, it covers dark themes, really thematically, it still works like a regularly, simple show in the sense of it's kind of, you could kind of figure it out, Yeah, there's no climactic battle at the end, but, the story notes hit where you think they should hit, whilst Greed Island just subverts the plot. From Greed Island onwards, you've got no idea. You can't even predict the story. Like right now, I could make 10 prediction videos in the Succession War, and there's 0% chance I'll get it right, because that's how Togashi's writing style has changed since Greed Islands. I think the thing that's interesting about this is that Greed Island was the point where he really started going on hiatus. This is the point where since Greed Island, he can't write anymore consistently. And I think this unhinged subverting of expectations also goes inwards towards Togashi himself. I think Togashi struggles to write the story now, and that's because he's placed these limitations on himself that he's got to constantly subvert what he himself thinks the story should be, which is why we've got multiple possible endings. What other author gives us multiple? It's completely unheard of, and that's why Togashi, you really cooked when it came to Greed Islands. We wouldn't have the Chimera Ant arc, we wouldn't have the Election arc, we wouldn't have the Succession arc, or the Expedition arc without this masterpiece of an arc. So I hope one day I can do a full review of the Greed Island arc. This is more talking about its importance in the story. Of course, I'm going to review, of course, the OVAs and the 1999 Greed Island arcs. I might talk about the the difference between the manga and the 2011 anime of Greed Islands. I want to do more Greed Island content, really, because I really love this part of the story. I'm probably going to buy myself a Greed Island t-shirts. This was Hadrigon talking about the importance of Greed Islands. Peace out.